first, let's go back in time. Do you mind?
I don't mind that at all.
Okay, we're taking a blast to the future with our next guest who has truly done it all. From his Tony-winning performance in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, to his villainous turns on screen, he has proven that he can steal the show in just about any role.
Now, actor and singer Roger Bart has been nominated for a Tony for his portrayal of Doc Brown in Broadway's Back to the Future, the musical, and he has earned plenty of applause on stage as he donned the white coat and wig, the iconic white coat and wig.
Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans of all ages, please welcome the one and only Roger Bart!
I love that picture, that last picture.
You like that one?
That was
You like
fantastic.
that?
Yeah, amazing. The crossed eyes. I love
Great
that.
to see you. Have a seat. There's your ex.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today? I told you this.
I feel
sofa
great.
is-
I feel
Yeah?
so great. Yeah, I
Yeah?
haven't been up this early for quite a while, but it's really good.
You're not a
here.
morning person.
No, we can't be. You know, we're
Broadway.
we're on the Broadway. We work till 10:30 at night.
That's right. That's right. So you have added another Tony nomination to your illustrious career.
Yeah.
Does it get old?
No, it never gets old.
Yeah.
And now that I was nominated the first time 25 years ago, and just the virtue of the fact that I am still kicking and singing on Broadway is kind of a miracle. But it's a incredible honor. It really is. But at this age, I'm much more grateful than I.
At this age, stop being so humble.
Yeah, well, you've been around.
Well, look, we've all been around. We like to think we're just aging well.
Yeah.
I love to ask, where were you when you got the news? Did your agent call? Were you watching? Were you?
No. I was listening to the news and trying to pretend it really wasn't happening because
Oh,
I was
see.
pretty convinced that that I would not hear my name. And then my phone rang from a good friend of mine, and this is a person who has the wherewithal never to call me up with bad news at that hour. So as soon as I saw her name on the phone, I was immediately like, oh my gosh, I think I may have gotten a nomination. So it was pretty. And then the whole day, of course, becomes like the really sort of wild party. Yeah.
So
That's how does it feel to act in a musical of this scale?
Yeah.
You know, first of all, I like a show this size because it's the only one that kind of it promotes really broad acting. So I could be really large.
There you are.
I probably have, yeah. And it sort of fits into this crazy world. But I love that. I love the excitement of a giant set, and it being loud and bright and really fun and big.
And it plays to all of the senses. I went to go see it, and it's like you're hearing, you're seeing. It's a whole multi-sensory type of situation, which I think speaks to how Broadway has evolved in so many ways.
We represent a show that really becomes more of a cinematic experience. It's almost like you feel like you're in a theme ride because it's so immersive. And so many other shows are still very traditional. So I just love that there's room for everybody on Broadway. That's what's really great, that we're pushing that envelope.
That's right.
Yeah, the original Doc Brown, of course, played by Christopher Lloyd, iconic, right? We think of him. Did you take anything from him and the way that he played the role?
I did. I mean, first of all, he's just so great in the movie, and he's such a lovely guy. I just tried to take the things that were the most exciting that I loved watching in his performance, which is the feeling of intensity, of a certain size of all of the events is very big and very right. And he's always a kind of guy who's both funny and very surprising. You never really know what Chris Lloyd's going to do, and so I try to take some of that and bring it onto the stage.
And I have to say, you really made it your own, because going into it, I was like, gosh, I know all of these characters so intimately from being a teenager, and you really found a way to make it uniquely yours. I need to know right now how you all don't crack up on stage. It's almost like the SNL when they're all trying to make each other break. I mean, you guys are hysterical.
Yeah.
How do you keep it together and to go to your next line?
We have a lot of little tricks. We sometimes will bite the inside of my cheeks.
Stop it.
That works. That'll kind of prevent you from guffawing. A lot of times we do the upstage. We'll just go.
To look away from each other.
Just a moment.
Exactly, just need a moment. But it is a great time, and part of the fun, of course, a lot of these kind of shows is to try to amuse each other. Sometimes, I've done it 800 times this thing, so sometimes we just get tickled if something goes wrong. And part of the fun is too when we do break, the audience really does love it the same way I did when Harvey Korman and Tim Conway did in the
Of
Carol
course,
Burnett
right.
variety show way back when. So I just always loved that.
I love that. Oh
When
my
it comes to auditioning, what the worst audition you've ever had?
Oh my gosh, there are too many to recount for you. Really, I'm not kidding. I mean, there's just so many. That's the crazy thing about. I'm sure when you've had job applications, and anybody who goes in for a job interview, there are some that are fantastic, and then there's some that are just so bombs.
You walk out and you're like, you know what? I'm going to see myself out
Yeah.
because I already know.
I've dismissed myself more on more
Exactly. We would have to be here for about 5 hours to go through your illustrious career, so we thought we'd just cut it short and do a game.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's a game of Would You Rather.
Oh, I love that game.
You don't have to take a shot.
That's too bad.
Oh, I was going to say, come on.
That's too bad.
All
Things
right.
were looking good for a moment. Okay. It is a morning show.
It is a morning.
All right.
Okay. This is Would You Rather, the futuristic edition.
Okay.
Hit him with that.
Ah.
Do you need your glasses? I forgot to tell you to bring your glasses.
We'll be fine. Flying car or teleportation?
Oh, fan of the Jetsons since I was a young man.
We
Flying
just-
car.
We literally.
And if I could have that little glass bubble over me, and if it could only sound like, would be yes, we'd be good. I'd be good in that.
Where's Elroy? Where's Rosie?
Right.
My robot maid.
Dee Dee.
Speaking of, chef robot or
Yes.
cleaning robot?
Oh.
And do you want them to look like that?
Ooh.
Oh gosh.
I know.
That
I
gives
think
me
a
that,
cleaning
AI movie.
robot. I love cooking myself.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, and I don't know if I would trust my chef robot, although they look fairly trustworthy.
Well.
But the vacuuming one I'm kind of digging over there.
I like a cleaning robot too.
Yeah. Okay,
I want
good.
one more like Rosie. That scares me, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Rosie was.
She was boxy.
She
was very boxy.
She had the Miss
was.
Butterworth look to her.
She was a little. She had those eyes. They were very shifty.
Right.
Would you rather live in space or on an island, like an all the way alone island?
Oh, an island.
Yeah, I don't trust space. I'm sorry, Elon. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but are islands in vogue nowadays?
I'll make
You're
it
in trouble
vogue.
if you're on an
I will
island.
make it in
seems.
vogue.
Yeah. The Maldives is looking pretty good right
Coney
now.
Island.
Yeah.
Or Cody Islands, right?
There
exactly.
is that. Yeah, we're on one now. We're
There you
pretty
go,
good.
technically.
Right.
What's the next one?
We have a smart home or a castle.
Oh, I think that's
yeah,
a tough
I
one.
know.
So I think a smart home.
A smart home.
Yeah.
A smart
so.
home.
Just-
You said you like to cook. You know your way around the kitchen?
Yeah.
What was the last thing you made that you loved?
I make a good chicken marsala.
Excuse you, sir.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
Oh,
now
I go a little heavy on the marsala. But it's pretty good. Oh.
you use wine when you cook, and sometimes you actually put it in when you. That's how I cook too.
And if you drink enough while you're cooking, you
Everything
really don't
tastes
care.
delicious.
You
It tastes
just don't care.
delicious.
Nelson and I will wait for our invitation.
Absolutely.
It'll be a celebratory one
Good,
because we
good.
wish you the best of
Oh,
luck.
you're so kind.
Not that
Thank you. And
need
thank
it.
you for having me.
Oh,
I'm
this
so
was-
glad you enjoyed the show.
This was a treat.
This absolutely was a treat. Thank you for coming.